Welcome to another edition of Retail Road Trip Diaries. Mike Classic here with you again. September 4th, 2012, and we had a dilly of a trip. A couple days ago, we started headed on down to Macon, where I met fellow Sky City member Edward Floyd, and we checked out some retail. Lots of retail down there. Lots of dead retail. Mostly was dead. We had a media play that has still all the signs up, but yet the roof is torn off due to a tornado. A dead Home Depot, a Table Supply, which was a Winn-Dixie subsidiary. We had Piggly Wigglies, we had Old Bi-Lo's, Food Lions, Circuit Cities, Toys R Us, Sears, Kmart's, you name it, Macon had it. Keyword had it. They do have a few cool new things. They have a nice, brand new, shiny Academy Sports, and the mall, which is still too big for Macon. Hollister-Gibson chopped it up and demolished the Parisians. The Dillard's is now sitting there separate. The Sears is closed. The Belk will be closed in about 2 weeks. And all that's left is JCPenney's and Macy's. The mall inside has been desecrated by the stupid carpeting and the stupid lights. And the lights are freaking everywhere. Every 5 inches seems like the lights are hanging down. Stores are very slim inside. Lots of drywall with old pictures. That's typical Hollister-Gibson. Hollister-Gibson doesn't like to leave an empty storefront. Instead, they like to put drywall up and put pictures on it, because that makes it better. The mall's definitely going to need more stores in it to survive. I really think Hollister-Gibson, I think they made a mistake here. Invested too much money in the mall. It's not going to get it back to them. Trying to make it their flagship mall. It's not going to work. I think it's going to fail. I think the mall is going to fail really hard. But hey, if they could have success with it, that would be great. I don't like to see any mall die, no matter who owns it, even if it's Hollister-Gibson. But yeah, Hollister should stick to the small market malls, the 2 or 3 anchor malls, one level. Keep it simple. Have your shoe show, your Cato, your Claire's, your typical Hollister-Gibson mall stores. Throw Sears, Penny's, and Belk on it, and be done with it. But maybe there's a chance of the Burlington Coat Factory to move into the mall and effectively kill the other replacement retail center that replaced one of the other malls in town. Went to the Houston Mall, which is spelled like Houston, but it's really pronounced Houston, for whatever reason. Very vintage mall with a really cool Belk and an awesome Sears. The Sears still had the area where you could, all three sides had the area where you could drive up underneath the overhang, where you'd be able to, drop your wife off, let her go walk around, and you go look for a parking spot. Back in the 60s and 70s, that was the thing. So the Belk was uninspiring on the outside, but the inside used to have these big glass arches. It's beautiful, which have been painted over, of course, but you can still see they were there. Pretty much dead, but inside it's vintage as it gets, so very cool to see that. Went to Warner Robins, where we saw Kmart. We saw a really weird Kmart. It was a 70s Kmart they moved the entrance to the Kmart Foods end, or whatever grocery store was there, and then put a new, ooh, that's a rollover. That's not good. They put a new facade on it, a new brick. It's just a really mishmash, hodgepodge. It had an Penske Auto Center. Of course, it doesn't anymore. It's a very bizarre Kmart, very ugly. Some Kmart's are just ugly. There's a Family Mart that looked like if you, I guess, took a grocery store, sunk it in the bottom of the ocean for 20 years, pulled it back up, and reused it. What a dump. Some other things in Warner Robins, we had a mall, not a Hall-Story Gibson mall, that was built in 1994-95, and was very 90s inside, very cool, one floor, three anchored mall, I believe. We had Belk, we had Sears, we had Penny's, and we had a fourth anchor, which I think was Goodies, but they are no longer there. The Belk's getting renovated inside, full renovation in there, so if you want to check that out before it gets fully renovated, definitely go down to Warner Robins and check that out. And then a couple days off from retailing, and then headed out towards Savannah. Stopped in Dublin, not Ireland, for a really ugly, dumpy, sad Kmart in the ghetto that I have no idea how it still hangs on, because it's the only thing out there. That and Breads. Go to Breads. I don't know how that Kmart's still surviving, but it's out there. And it's painted blue. A blue Kmart. Very strange. Then went to Statesboro for their Kmart. Another 80s Kmart. And then went to Savannah. Met up again with Josh Riggs. Second time I've met up with him. Things went well. We got lots covered in Savannah, including Savannah Mall, which I like the Savannah Mall. A very late 80s, early 90s mall, anchored by Target, Dillard's. It was Bass Pro, which was in the Parisian, and Montgomery Ward, which is not there anymore. Half of it is a school, and the other half is Famous Labels. The mall itself, I thought was cool. The Bass Pro was out of this world because they looked exactly like a department store. They didn't do much to change that around. So you're basically looking at, you know, boats and waders and tackle in a Parisian. Very bizarre, but very cool, very nice inside. The rest of the mall, I mean, I liked it. It definitely, you know, I had two fountains. One fountain worked, one didn't. The mall, I like the layout, I like the setup, I like the feel inside, I like the skylights. Black stores, I mean, it's got to be half vacant, if not more, 65% vacant. The anchors are doing well, seemingly, so don't know what's going to happen there. Then we went to Oglethorpe Mall, which is the older mall, but newer inside. Sears, with a really funky design. Belk, JCPenney's. I don't know if I'm forgetting one at this mall, but I think it's just a 3-anchor. And a Macy's, which was a Rich's. Really nice inside. They did a probably 80% renovation. Someone forgot to renovate the floor tile, so you have all this modern stuff with late 80s floor tile that just doesn't match at all. And there's a few little spots that Josh pointed out, you know, where the ceiling and things of that nature they didn't redo. So there's a few areas that still need to be looked at, but really nice mall, really nice layout, good amount of stores, you know, all your usual suspects. I dug the Macy's in there, the old Rich's. Probably a little cluttered. I think the store's a little small for they need a little more space. Didn't go in the Penny's or the Sears. Yeah, I did like that mall as well. Then checked out a few other things. You know, Kmart, which was a really cool Kmart. It was a 60s Kmart that seemed to have gotten a renovation every decade. I could see something from 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and now in the store, which was really cool. The really nice facade, like a 90s style facade they redid on it. Really nice store. Had an auto center back in the day. Big garden center. Really nice. The only Kmart in Savannah. A couple other things, old Walmarts, Kroger's, Piggly Wiggly's, Circuit City, Toys R Us, various things of that nature. And then from Savannah, head up to Hilton Head, where went to the mall at Shelter Cove. Wow. It's dead. It is dead. I'm telling you, it is just, it's ready. It's ready for the wrecking ball. GNC, Regis Hair Salon, Joseph A. Bank, and Bale are your only remaining tenants inside. From what I understand, the malls kicked everybody out who wanted to stay or made them move. The mall's set to be demolished next year. I mean, it's got to be coming up quick. I'm telling you guys, it is going to come up quick. There's nothing left. They walled off the Saxford Avenue whole corridor. So all it is the middle section and to the left towards the Belk is the only thing left. It's going down fast. So if you want to see the mall at Shelter Cove on Hilton Head Island, you better go now, because I mean, the way it's looking, I highly doubt it's lasting until Christmas. I didn't do really anything else in Hilton. I did go to the Harris Teeter with a really old logo from the 90s. Got a picture of that. Inside the store is renovated, but the outside they never updated the logo. You can't even tell it's a Harris Teeter. I mean, again, with Hilton Head, you can't tell anything is anything. You don't know. I mean, gas stations don't even know a gas station exists because you have to like drive by it to see it. Very hard to see anything. You can't see anything from the road. There's a lot of other places I could have stopped, but you literally have to pull into the parking lots to look at the buildings to see anything. I don't think there's really any old, dead retail sitting around, because that's just not how they roll in Hilton Head. Well, all day. So yeah, I mean, any suggestions for Hilton Head, please give them to me. But I just can't stop every little place to check things out. Then I went to Beaufort. I think I'm saying that right, Beaufort. Or maybe more honky like Beaufort. To the Kmart there. So it's a 70s style Kmart with an auto center. Pretty typical Kmart inside. They had a Belk, which is moved to a lifestyle center down the road. And a Balo, which said it was a grand reopening. I guess they got a full renovation or something. Then from there, I decided, well, one thing I haven't covered in a while, going back to Summerville, South Carolina, where that was the home of one of the few Sears Grand stores. Sears Grand stores are really impossible to find almost these days. You might remember one I covered in Cape Garadrew. I think I'm saying that right, Garadrew. That should be still there. Beautiful, beautiful store. This was in Summerville, South Carolina, right out, kind of about 20-30 minutes outside Charleston. It was a regular Kmart. I think a 90s Kmart, but I don't know. Could have been a 70s Kmart. It's really hard to tell. It switched to Sears Grand. And then, stand by. It switched to Sears Grand. And Dustin and I covered it when it was Sears Grand. Then it was switching back to Kmart for whatever reason. So I went when it was Sears Grand, covered it then. Now it's a Kmart, full renovation inside except for the bathroom. Why not renovate the bathroom for the whole store? New signs, new floor, new shelving, new everything. I mean, it's a nice Kmart. It's brand new. So, Kmart, come on now, people. You can make really nice stores. Man, I'm having trouble driving here. People are having trouble going the speed limit. You can make really nice stores. Why can't you just do this to all your stores? Nice shelves, clean floor, tile matched, nothing was leaking, plenty of associates around, lighting was good. I mean, it was just like a great store. The only thing they didn't they left from Sears Grand, which was weird, is they had these fake windows outside. I didn't understand very much. And then they had the same registers that Sears Grand used, the blue registers, which I don't know why they just didn't paint the registers. And Sears Grand used to have registers up front, at the front of the store, and then they turned that into customer service. So, still, really nice store, really impressive. Sales associates were very friendly, everyone was very nice. So, then from there, I went to Orangeburg. Now that's really cool. Orangeburg used to have is an 80s Kmart. It put their big K logo on the left justified to the facade. I go back there, it's the 80s Kmart logo by itself on the facade. I've never seen that before. They got rid of the big K from the left side and put the old Kmart sign on the facade in the middle. It's almost like they got rid of the big K sign. They still had the old Kmart sign from the 80s and stuck it up there. I'm gonna have to, that's just bizarre. So I went there, again, I've already been there once, but I'm glad I went back. Then I just headed to Columbia to look at all their Kmarts again while on the way home. Not much has really changed about those Kmarts. I mean, Columbia's down to 3 Kmarts instead of 4. So, there's not much really new to report. The one over by off I-20 and 77. I used to have like an auto parts store in the old K Foods. The sign, they put a huge pharmacy sign. The pharmacy sign is bigger than the Kmart sign. So apparently they really want you to know they have a pharmacy there. Other than that, nothing special to report about those Kmarts. The one up near Casey is always very dead. They were redoing the parking lot, which was nice to see, but that one's always like, no one's ever there. And then that's it. That's what I covered. So, had lots of cool retail. And, I almost did forget to mention, thanks to Josh Riggs for letting me cover that Savannah Children's Theater, which is a former Belk store. And I got some cool things from that store, including a Belk jewelry bag, and I guess you call it jewelry bag. It's like a magazine bag. And also a really cool Belk advertisement that I have in the back of my car here. So thanks to Josh for letting me walk around, take pictures, and I'll have those up on the site. I will have plenty to put on Sky City, plenty to put on Dead and Dying Retail, so be sure you go on Facebook if you're not a fan of Dead and Dying Retail. Like my page. If you're not a member of Sky City, go on there and type in Sky City Southern Retail and it should come right up. It's a group, you can join it and I'll approve you. And I'll be putting stuff on Flickr. I've suddenly have an increase in my Flickr page thanks to another website promoting my Flickr, so that's kind of cool. So hopefully everyone enjoyed the video, and I will be back with you, I am sure, in a few weeks with more exciting, awesome retail to be covering. Adios.